Hey, if you've been wondering about Portland's best neighborhoods off peninsula,
then this video is for you. I'm Matt Dechaine.
And I'm Mike Weisman.
And we're working hard to be the #1 realtors in Portland.
And this video series is all about living, working, and playing in the real Portland, Maine. All right, so welcome back to part 2 of our series on great off-peninsula neighborhoods. So Matt, tell us a little bit about where we're going today.
So today we're gonna check out the Stroudwater Neighborhood, East Deering, and North Deering.
Excellent. I'm really excited to get started. These are great neighborhoods, lots of green spaces, and really cool houses. Let's go check it out. Okay, so right now we are in the Stroudwater neighborhood, and behind us is the Stroudwater River. So Matt, tell us a little bit about Stroudwater and the neighborhood.
Yeah, of course. So Stroudwater is a nice, quiet neighborhood. It runs on the outer end of Congress Street as you're making your way to South Portland.
Right.
The main features, as Mike mentioned, is that it's bounded by water. On one side, you have the Fore River and the Stroudwater River, which runs behind us.
Yep.
On the far side here is the PWM Airport, which is right next to it. The quiet side of the airport borders the neighborhood, though. It's where the private plane hangars are.
Right.
So you don't hear the noise that bad.
You're right. So we got the Portland International Airport essentially behind us here.
Exactly.
Right. Okay. Awesome. And tell me a little bit about the neighborhood here, Matt. So if I'm going to drive through the neighborhood, when I see the houses, or I'm thinking about moving to this neighborhood, what kind of housing will I find? Tell me a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so the houses we find in this particular area are nice, classic old colonials.
Okay. Yep.
Historic homes.
Yep.
There's actually a museum right near us called the Tate Museum, which features a home called, it was the Tate family home.
Okay.
It's now a museum to showcase, what an antique house used to look like.
Okay.
So if you're looking for a classic home and a quiet neighborhood, just minutes from downtown, it's a great neighborhood to look for.
Okay, excellent. And in terms of pricing, what would you say, ballpark figures? Again, we're recording this in mid-2019, but give us an idea of what someone coming into the area here might expect to find when they look at Stroudwater.
Sure. So some of the recent sales for a smaller non-historic home in the streets behind us, you're looking at maybe $230,000, $40,000 on up.
Okay.
For the historic ones, I mean, they're all so unique.
Right.
It's hard to put an exact price, but like the bigger historic homes in Portland, you're pushing close to $500,000.
Right. Excellent. And again, a lot of green space. That we talked about it in almost all the videos. We're standing in front of it. It's a beautiful park right here. I mean, there's playgrounds that are out for the public here to be used and whatnot. So a lot of great green spaces, great neighborhood. Could be a great place to look for if someone want to come into the area. Yeah,
one of the biggest highlights is the homes that are sitting on the Fore River.
Right.
You can put a dock out, and that Fore River drains right into Casco Bay.
Nice.
So you could have a dock behind your home right here where you could get right into the ocean with your boat.
Excellent. Sounds great. Well, let's get on to the next neighborhood. Okay, so we've taken a quick detour while we're driving through Stroudwater, and we stopped off on the Stroudwater Trail. So Matt, just tell us a little bit about where we're standing.
Yeah, so the Stroudwater Trail is part of the Portland Trails system.
Okay.
There's miles and miles of biking and hiking trails in Portland with plenty of green space.
Okay.
This is one portion of it.
Right.
It runs right along the Stroudwater River.
Okay.
It's peaceful. I mean, as soon as you jump into this, it's like you're nowhere near a city.
Yeah, it's true. Right now, all you hear now is basically birds, crickets.
Yeah, it's really nice. Come take your dog out here. Go for a walk along the river. You definitely won't regret it.
Okay, so right now we are in the East Deering neighborhood, as you can see, right on the beach. So, Matt, tell us a little bit about where we are right now.
Yeah, of course. So East Deering is your first neighborhood off peninsula.
Okay.
If you're crossing the 295.
Right.
It's also known as Tukey's Bridge.
Okay.
If you remember Washington Ave, Washington crosses that and continues out in East Deering here.
Yep.
East Deering is a nice little part of town. It's kind of the forgotten neighborhood, so to speak, of Portland.
Okay.
It's on the east side of the 295, which if you remember from our other videos, dissects Portland.
Right.
It's got a couple cool features such as waterfront property, one of the few spots in Portland that you can literally walk out of your front door right to the ocean.
Like where we are right now.
And then there's B&M Baked Bean Factory nearby.
Yep.
They've been making beans there since 1850s.
Yep.
A staple of Portland.
Yep, just drove right past them. So tell me a little bit about what you're going to find here in the neighborhoods.
Yeah, so if you're going to live on the water, this is the part of Portland to do it. So it's nice because you can be, you know, if you're a medical professional,
right,
less than 10 minutes from the highway, from the hospital, right off the highway.
Excellent.
So you can be right on the water nearby.
Right.
But some of the other neighborhoods, or streets in this neighborhood just behind, are a lot more affordable, Mike.
Okay.
Houses sell for, you know, maybe somewhere $250 to $300 depending on the size.
Yep.
So if you're looking to, if you like this neighborhood but you can't afford the water, that's one way to look at it.
Right, because we were just just looking at some of the recent solds here, and we see like right on the water here, they're pushing $800,000 if you want to be right up against the beach.
Right. Yeah. So not everyone's in that price point.
That's okay. It's still a great place, and it's a great off-peninsula neighborhood in Portland. Okay, so now we're in the North Deering neighborhood, and we're in front of the Lyman Moore Middle School.
Yeah.
Awesome. So Matt, tell us about, well, first where we are and the neighborhood.
Yeah, great. So as Mike said, we're in North Deering. North Deering is the gateway to Portland if you're coming down from the north, you know, through Falmouth.
Okay.
Washington Ave is right next to the school here. So if you remember, Washington Ave starts downtown Portland and makes its way across Tukey's Bridge out into Falmouth. So we're kind of at the bounds of Portland here.
Okay.
North Deering is really nice because it's, again, a quiet neighborhood on the edges of Portland, just minutes from downtown. A lot of newer housing stock. You'll see a lot of developments, you know, houses built 90s, 80s, 2000s.
Right.
So if you're looking for a newer home, this might be an area that you want to look into.
So Matt, this sounds like a great neighborhood then. If I'm a family and I'm looking for like a great, you know, congruent neighborhood where I can really, you know, my kids can walk to school, ride their bikes. And right next door we have the Harrison Lysith Elementary School, right? The middle school is right next door.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about the highlights of this neighborhood from a family perspective.
Yeah, so like Mike said, your kids can walk or ride their bike right to school. We've talked a lot about the Portland Trail system.
Yep.
It literally runs right across in front of us here and connects to the Sebago to the Sea Trail system. And it winds its way with different arms through these neighborhoods. So kids can go to the end of their street and ride a path right to the school. You don't even have to go on a street at all.
Amazing.
So it's wonderful.
Yeah, great place for families. This is a great neighborhood. Again, our third neighborhood that we looked at today, off-peninsula. So there you have it, a great tour of 3 more Portland neighborhoods: Stroudwater, North Deering, and East Deering.
Yeah, and Mike and I are working hard to be the #1 agents in Portland again. DM us, send us a message. We'd love to take you out on a tour. If there's anything we missed today and you want us to highlight more in depth, we're happy to do it. Just let us know and we'll make a video just for you.
Absolutely. Remember, like our page, subscribe, hit the little bell below if you're watching on YouTube, and we'll see you on the next video.